Thank you very much, Walter. Thank you very much to Ivan, to Walter, to Aspire for that invitation. I think it's a massive pleasure for me, and I'm going to try to enjoy with you, because I think that is the most important in football, to try to enjoy. Football is a sport that, of course, is a business a little bit different than another business. Like that is why always I said business is not ordinary. Football is not ordinary business, okay? Because it's completely different to another business. And of course, look, a guy from when I was a kid in my town where I born in Murphy. Was a kid that had a dream, and after, look, today I am in Qatar, in front to a lot of people, great professional, and talking here is the dream come true. It's not my dream to talk in front of you. It was my dream is to be in the position that I am now, like a manager, or how was my career like a player. But of course, I want to congratulate Aspire for this amazing environment, for these amazing facilities. I think they are a perfect facility to develop a new era about football. And of course, to congratulate the federation too, Aspire, because of the massive victory on the Asian Cup. For me, big congratulations. An amazing achievement. And of course, now is a moment that, of course, talking with Walter, that was chasing me in the last few years, or it was difficult. It's not a thing that I love to do. I prefer to be in front of the player, and normally we are in front to the media. Always preparing in your mind the right answer, that not be wrong in your answer, because how is going to influence to the player, to the club, or the company that trusts in you, to drive that business, or the business that they or the objective that they have. Of course, that in life we are drive because of the emotion. We say always, like a principle we have, football is a context of emotion. We are talking about first is passion, and then came football. And now in the last, I think, few years, we are changing that concept. Now it's like more an obsession. We cross this line up. I think that is the important thing that we need to know. All we move and drive our life because we feel something, and of course it's not in the way around. It's not football. Is need to be my necessity to try to find an objective in my life. Also, always was my life or my emotion about that sport drive my life, and of course football cannot be a thing different. And of course, when we talk about football, we cannot talk or we cannot split the emotions. The emotions always are going to be there. That is a picture that always we love to include, because we need to understand the society. And for me, the key is the kid. The children, our kids, because that is going to be our legacy for the future. It's not going to be the legacy to create some drill, to improve our technical or our control. That is going to be a normal thing. But I think that reflects how is our society. And what we cannot do today is not to put in context our society. We need to grow up and grow in the way that grow our society. We cannot put the back to our society and how are our kids. First of all, I want to say something. Sorry for my English. My English after 7 years still improving. I need to improve, and it's not easy. It's easier to talk in front of the player when we talk about concept and different things, but to talk about in front of you is more difficult. And I think it's so important before to start to talk about a little bit about football, about how we are and how we know Mauricio Pochettino, if not my coaching staff, or all the people that work with me, because of course I am here talking here, but after I would like to Jesus to explain a little bit different things that be involved. He doesn't know, but now it's like, come on Jesus, after I'm going to put you here because you have an amazing capacity and potential, and I think we are a group of people working all together to try to develop and to translate our philosophy to the company or to the team or to the club that trusts in us, because on the end, that is the most important. I go a little bit backward. I think when we received the invitation of Walter, in football, do you know that football is today and tomorrow? It's not yesterday. You cannot think too much in what happened yesterday. The easier thing was, okay, after 2 defeats, big defeat, 7-2 and 3-0. Saturday, the easier thing was, okay, we are not in a good emotional level, we are not in a good mood. But like one friend said to me many years ago, say, Mauricio, when you are on the top, be humble. When you are on the bottom, with dignity. And that, I think, for me, is the most important in football. That balance that we need to show in every single aspect, like control on the touchline, control on the training session, control in front of the media, control with the board, control. Today, our responsibility like a coach is massive. It's massive. It's not only to design a strategy to play and go and play and try to convince the player that that's the best. I think today we are in different way, in different moment. Sometimes we are psychologists. We are father, brother, friend. And I can continue with describing our matter, because I think today is global, but like was always. Because in football, when I was with Bora, that I know from many time ago, and he came to see me sorry Bora, because I'm going to say something that maybe you don't like, but I don't understand. Okay, good. That is good. How many languages you talk? 7, 8, 10? No, I think in my early time in Espanol, he came to visit me. I didn't know, only hear about him, but it was amazing because what he translated wasn't the knowledge about football. No knowledge about exercise, no knowledge about we need to use one system, another system. Or the best way to play football is using 1-4-3-3 or 1-4-1, always the 1. Remember always, because I listen people say 4-3-3 and say, okay, you play with 10. It's obvious that the keeper always is going to be on the goal. But because for me, the most important area in football is the goal, is really important for me to say 1-4-3-3, 1-4-4-2, and different system like this, no? And I remember that how he translated to me his philosophy. His philosophy I described in only a few sentences. We were seeing our facilities in Espanol, that for me and for us were amazing, because when you start your career like a coach, that is the most important thing, to have 25 players, and then a pitch, and then few balls, and then the facilities is not important. The most important is that you sign a contract and you can show your value, no? But when we talk a lot, he was always with his camera, and we arrived to the new stadium in Cornellà, and he said, we are going to play with the bin. We have one ball here, who put the ball 3 times before that another win. And we start to play during 15 minutes. I don't need to know nothing more from him. How competitive he is, how he can adapt in every single circumstance to find a way to motivate me, but inspire me. Because on the end, we need to arrive to in another situation to talk. Our responsibility, not only to motivate, but more is inspire. Inspire is the key. Motivate, yes, we can motivate some people for a very short moment or in some moment, but when you inspire the people, that is forever. You know, that is the most important. And then we need to work how we need, because on the end, to realize to the player that they need to find their motivation. Their own motivation is key for every single team, competitive team. If not, it's so difficult. Because, you know, to say, I need motivation, how you are going to motivate? How you are going to motivate after to play Champions League? How you are going to motivate? Come on, we are professional or no professional? And then we go back again. I was watching Walter, the downstairs, the emotional cocum. I think it's unbelievable thing to start to work and start to discover an area that for us still is to discover. It's impossible today. We can talk about tactics, about system, about philosophy, about everything. But in this area, still is on the bottom. We need to develop. That is why congratulations, because I think we need to work in develop that, but we need to work after to try with our kids and to try to create the right habit to arrive to be a great professional. You know, because in football, of course, that is difficult. Our brain work different than maybe another sports. I don't say that because or we are arrogant or we don't have we are not humble enough. But I think here Santi or Hernan, that they were great players. They understand very well why I say that. And of course, that is our responsibility on the future, to be with the science, but always never forget that football born in here, in your heart. I think everyone that is here in this room are here because feel something special for this sport. If we forget that football is a context of emotion, if football born I don't know where, in another galaxy, no. Football always is born here and is going to born in our next generation and generation. Our responsibility is to be the guardian of this idea. If not, of course, we are going to go to play to another sport. Football start to change, the technology start to change too, to evolve, but we need to be careful, and our responsibility is to be the guardian. We need to use the new technology, the science, to improve, but to improve the game or to improve and help our players. That is maybe for another summit. Well, no, and of course, I don't want to get boring you. I think we need now a break to watch a video in the environment that Tottenham provide us to work nearly 5 years and a half ago. I think it's important for you a few minutes to watch and then to continue talking a little bit, and a little bit music to, come on, to animate any what. Necesito agua, Jesús.
Left foot, cracking! Here Harry Kane goes early and with good reason. Spurs lead by 4 goals to 0. Son making the following run, Ericsson with him. This is wonderful football. Kane to finish. Wow, what a goal from Spurs, exceptional! A devastatingly sharp and incisive counter-attack. What a night for Tottenham Hotspur!
And of course, I am so happy for my player, my squad, and of course the staff and all the fans. The song that we were listening, and that talk very well how the emotion drive our performance. it's impossible a few months ago playing the final of the Champions League or having this type of performance. And then, of course, in the last week, happened what happened that you know very well. That is the important thing. How control the emotion. How anticipate the problem that you start to perceive on the team. Or the circumstance, or to have the capacity to analyze why, or to assess the circumstance that make that this type of situation change complete and looks like one team a few months ago was one and another is completely different. If, of course, that when happen for different circumstances, and of course that we are inside, we have some details and of course some information that the people from outside is impossible. And then is the most important thing, that if you have the capacity, to change that dynamic and, to fight with different things or situations that make this thing happen. And if you after, you have the support, you have different things that you know very well in that business, in football, that sometimes you have more time or less time. That is about, the people is above us that we cannot manage. That is why it's so important. I said to my chairman when he signed me, was my best friend. He provided a very good contract in Tottenham, 3-year or 4-year contract, and was my best friend. After, during the journey, that situation changed. No, always change. No, sorry, I don't want to make wrong, because after I arrived to England and no change, improve in our relationship, but on the end, after 5 years and a half, we are in a situation, okay, that the people can say, oh, maybe we are not agree in many things, but I think our personal relationship is not going to change, winning or losing. That is the most important, and my view of him to me, I think is not going to change, and that is the most important, to keep that relationship, if always our respect, in that journey. Was amazing to see all the people that is involved in a football club, and that is why we need to manage. And our responsibility like a manager is, in our philosophy, is to translate our philosophy, first of all, our closer people, and then how you see here, 53 people working every day together. In our idea is always how we are going to translate that message, how we are going to translate our philosophy. First of all, to talk with the player when you arrive at a new club, is to agree something with your staff. And the staff is not only the 4 or the 5 that you have closer, if not all the people on the club, because you know very well that how can affect the 24, 25 or 28 players that we have on the squad. And then every single player is individual, and how important is that mix that can work together, and the principles or the ideas, okay, and the objective only big one, and that is another responsibility for us. And the responsibility is all, on then is all the staff on the club. That was a picture the last day on White Hart Lane before we start the work and change the stadium. But it's not only the people here that is in your shoulder, it's the people that are not now in the stand, and of course, fans around the world, that you, of course, you feel the pressure when you work for a company, such a company like a club like we are managing in Premier League, no, like Tottenham. Important thing is to understand the environment, the history, and the culture. That is the most important. Always we talk when one president or the sporting director come to see you and they say, oh, we want to offer that job. That job for what? What do you expect from me? What do you want from me? That is the most important to know. Not always is easy, and not always you are going to have the capacity to ask for this. Only some people that have lucky, no, and because they deserve, of course, they have the possibility to choose or to design the plan. But in general, we need to say, okay, we are available to do this or to do that, or we need to accept only. That is why, to managing people, player, staff, settle the principle, training, tactic, everything, and of course, the mentality, the collective mentality, is so important to after what? To performance in the best way. When you mix all this, and you're right, of course, you are going to be able, or you are going to be ready to start to talk about, again, to settle your principles about concept, idea of football, translate how you feel and how you want to play, and start to work in different phases. Okay, now talking a little bit, because it was a little bit boring. We always try to work in 4 phases in different principles or concept when we play from back. And we want to do a mix, not to show in the last, of course, in the last season, because the rule changed, playing from back, but yes, showing a little bit when we start in Espanyol, playing, how we settle the principle to try on the training, because it was so important to translate that philosophy. For me, it's 2 different things in football, or you have the ball or you don't have the ball. If you have the ball, what you are going to do with the ball, and when you don't have the ball, you need to recover it as soon as possible. But I think we share that idea, I think all here. How we use different scenarios or training sessions to try to help the team. That was before 10 years ago in Espanyol. That was more actually to try to how to help the keeper to understand the situation and the position and make decision. That is in our build-up to have the capacity that reduce the stress. The problem is, you can stop, Jesus. The problem is, it's a real exercise. It's a real exercise. We don't know, it's a real. It's not a real because it's not the fans, because there are no consequence if the keeper miss the pass, if we concede a goal or if we concede a chance. In training, how we can recreate, or to put stress on the player to try to do, that, or to be close, that to be real. Because then we know very well in the competition, when the stress coming and the pressure and the consequence that your performance, how it's going to affect you, but how it's going to affect my wife that is there, my kid, my friends, my teammate, my coach, my president, my fans, in social media, I don't know, and many things like this. That is why it's so important to try to put stress, but how? That is the key. How we are going to try to force them to have a training session like was real. How? Okay, maybe we can go to the gym, 1 hour on the gym, up and down, up and down, up and down, tired, frustrate a little bit because they need to be fresh to play. I don't know. It's different way to use, but it's still the same. The key is not going to be the exercise. The key is going to have the capacity to drive your emotion when you are going to compete. How we need to build that. But that is an exercise that we use sometimes to put pressure, to keep the ball, to play inside to the box. That was, stop, Jesus, sorry. I'm going to. It's so important because the player, in general, I was a central back, but never, the coach, Hernán, you said to me before, never allowed to me to play. My quality was not so good. But but now we try that all our central back play from back and good pass and stress inside, go inside to the box, and sometimes our central back, the keeper is with the ball there, but our central back try to be more, far away to try not play with me. But we forced to say no, closer, because now change the rule. Now change the rule. But this is a space on Saturday, on Sunday, or in the competition that is too much. It's too much. Or you have massive confidence in yourself, or you are innocent or naive, I don't know the word in English, or you don't care about nothing and say, play with me, if you lose the ball, I don't care. But if not, you respect this area, because when the keeper plays with you and the manager forces you to play and build from back, be careful. It's not only the quality that you need, if you need your character and your personality and your attitude. When we talk about football, it's attitude. Aptitude, but attitude. The attitude to say, I am available. How now are you going to deal with that? Okay, move on. That is different exercise that we made on the past. You need to build from back. How we make the correction after. I think we are not here to teach no one. It's only to show and share with you, because it's an amazing place to share how we work. That was the final. That is no coincidence to work from back or to build from back and play. Stop. Our objective done. Now you can turn and sit here on the bench and talk with Jesus like this. Goal. Oh, celebrate. No goal. Keep going. Again. Yes or not? Yes or not? If we prepare is from here to here, and now we are in his feet or in his hand. Yes or not? What we can do here, Santi? What we can do here? Like this. Please. Exactly. That is, football is always a percentage that we want to give about lucky, emotional state, psychology. I don't know how you want to tell, but that is not. It's not a thing that you can work. Of course, that you can work, but that is about if Sonny was in a very good that moment awake, and they make it, their decision or his decision, he making the decision was the right or the wrong, or the fullback that go down was very anticipate the action, and okay, we cannot talk more. How we build from back? How we use to do some exercise? Okay, we are going to use an exercise to build from back and to create the confidence to play from back. Of course, we need to settle some principle. Okay, and that is different situation. You can go back, Jesus. It's difficult, no? This type of situation is to try to provide them tools if we want to play in some way or another. If we want to build from back, respect, to link and to play along the grass, it's so important, our organization, our positional game, how we are going to behave in the moment that the ball is in one area, in another space, or when it's with the keeper, how we are going to behave depends on my position. Here we see that we start with our central back. We try to play. We cannot progress. How we are going to behave our central back. But now, the difference is the fullback is going to be in one side, in a good height to try to play. The central back is going to drop, and one midfielder need to read. Well, that's only to explain a little bit how we work on the past. Now it's completely a little bit different. That is different competitive situation that we use in different phases. That, of course, is not the goal. You can say maybe it's not real, but it's real to create the habit. Because then in all these drills, is what we try to do is to create habit, to put in your inconscient the situation. I want to press. Okay, play 2v2, go to press the keeper. Yeah, but it's not real because we play 2v2 and the keeper, yes, but when you play 11 by 11, after with different exercise, of course, you are going to translate that this idea. This type of situation, the same, how the opponent is going to press, but how we are going to keep the possession is so important. Working in different way, how the midfielder are going to read the situation, how we help them to read the situation, what is the space that they're going to have. Always depend, is the preparation of the game. We are going to play with one team, again another opponent, and always we try to find different way to play. Okay, some example that of course we find the best. You are going to come here and put the words, no? Of course, another day against Southampton, we didn't work, but only to be, for me, the most important is how we were on the game. That was the final of the Champions League. And the final of the Champions League, after to concede in the first minute from penalty, in 4 minutes, the capacity to play from back and not feel the stress and not feel pressure, that is because the team was in a very good level, emotional level. Because if after that happened against Brighton, Saturday, that we concede a goal and lose the keeper, if we show the first action after, we put the ball away. And the same player, why? What changed? The quality of the player? No, not change the quality of the player. Change my confidence. I lose my confidence. I not trust anymore in my teammate. No one want to play because what happened in this situation, we don't have the tool to forget what happened. Because when we talk about with the player about the mistake, I say, I allowed you to do a lot of mistake. And one another, and another, and another. But please forget. Forget. You made a mistake now, try like you, forget your mistake. But we go back again. We need to give more tools to the player. Our responsibility is to say, we need to find the way, to help them. Because it's not easy. Okay. That is shit. He cannot manage this type of pressure, and to put the responsibility out. Of course, sometimes you share the responsibility. You cannot immolate you and say, pam, to kill yourself, because you cannot feel that it's only your responsibility, and if you win, okay, you are a god. If you don't win, you are the worst. Of course, to share that responsibility, but we need to provide more tool. And of course, that is the idea. After our build-up, of course, positional game, that the people talk a lot about positional game, how easy it is when you have better quality, understanding player that can play in the positional game. How we develop or try to help, that of course, that is preparing, because you can see the mannequin, I don't know the game that we play, but we can use some time how we rotate using one system. But in this type of situation, it's difficult when we talk about system. Okay, it's our point of starting, but on the end, the dynamic, how we build or how we play in our own half, depend of the circumstance of the team that we assume or predict or guess how they are going to play against us, and then how we are going to rotate and use different situation. Okay, if we want to play and to have the possession and to keep the ball in possession and to be aggressive and to have the capacity to beat our opponent in the way that we propose, okay, we need to give the tools for them to behave or to know how they need to behave. Of course, that is a plan, and you need to provide the organization, but on the end, it's up to the player. Always I told to the player, for me, it's up to them. When you have the ball, if you want to take the ball here, where it's going to take him, and have the capacity, 1v1, pam, pim, pum, pam, to Harry Kane and score, perfect for me. Don't use the system, don't use the organization, don't use all that we practice. To give the freedom is the most important. After all this. Different example, how we move, how we work, how we use the space, how we try, to attract the player, everything, to develop in the way that we wanted to play. Out of possession is the same. We are going to show, but that show this clip that maybe work 2v2. What we need to do is to close inside, try to play outside, create the habit, 1v1, how we are going to press. But from this first step in a small side, playing like this, yes, we are going to see using different space to superiority or inferiority, depend the concept that you want to work or to be focused. But all this situation, are not important if after no apply the right attitude, the right commitment, the commitment or the right emotion, or we are sad if we are not happy. You know, it all is going to have a massive influence. I want now, because I think, because the plan was 1 hour and a half, no, Walter? But because we lose the last 2 games, 7-2, and say, no, 45 minutes, you say, Walter, no? You punish me. I want that Jesus explain a little bit different training analysis, I think, because he's part very important of the group. But we are all important in different percentage, of course, but we are all together, we are much better. I don't know, Jesus, from there? From there?
Okay, probably we are run of time. Working? No? Or maybe use this. It's okay. So, thank you to invite me to speak in front of a lot of great legends, friends, and all of you colleagues. And just finally, I would like to show a little bit how we use all the analysis and data, because it's clear all the clubs we are investing a lot of effort to improve, and we talk about tech, but it's important the way we can use the tech. Doesn't matter if you have a lot of staff or a lot of resources. I think it's important to optimize. You're gonna move, okay. So, okay, as you know, in a high level, probably we have a very short time to train, to prepare ourselves. That's the previous season schedule. So also we got 10 players playing the semi-final or the final of the World Cup, whereas the time to prepare the team was very little. The majority of the, let's say, starting players, they arrive 4 days before the first match in Newcastle, whereas you can expect from physical point of view, it's going to be a tough season. That's why we need to work for them. Of course, we are a team, we play as a team, but basically our way or our approach in our training is just as individuals. Everyone comes from a different phase. Everyone comes from a different year. So that's why we need to individualize as much as we can. So obviously, every training session, because we have a lot of resources, it's being filmed from different angles. And today, it's easy to record and all the data post-training. And the data is not dictating much. It's just telling us how the player applies themselves and how we can use the effort to minimize some of the risk. We are not saying with all the data we tell the manager this player can play or cannot play. But we try to help the players in terms of improvement, recovery, and also let's say preparing for the competition, right? Obviously, as we do, we have a big team in behind working in the position analysis. We tried for not only data, video, and also the eye on pitches to get good information. The manager is not a coach who is really focused on the opponent. We need to know against we play, but we don't show much to them. It helps us to prepare the week and to prepare the dynamic of the team. Of course, maybe on set pieces is a little bit different, where we try to look at the opponent and then try how we can damage them, and we adjust our defensive setup in terms of opponent's strengths, right? So all of us, we prepare videos. You have big stuff, you can do nice things, you know, but this is as an example. So as we said in set pieces, you know, this year changed the rules, so it's important, as all of us we do, to go further into the details. What happens sometimes, and this is something I need to thank Mauricio, because he's a manager, he doesn't think about himself. I'm not saying the other managers are sometimes selfish, but he he likes the player to recover. And sometimes when you play every 3 days or 4 days, there are not much time to train. And sometimes he says, okay, let's take the players to do recovery session, low emotion training, and we have to do everything through video. So maybe 70% of the games, we don't have pretty much practice from tactical point of view, from set pieces point of view. So that's why we need to work hard on images and work on principles. It's difficult to coordinate movements, but what we have to say is we work on them and we say that's the principle, that's what we have to try to do today. Obviously, live match analysis. Today, in a high level, most of the stadiums, they have to provide TVs, but if not, we build our own TV and we carry it away every match, And here is examples how we use the analysis of the game. First game of last season, we can see it a goal, and then the manager uses the images, designed to drill, specific with the players that we got there. Every drill always is different. Because we say a lot, we need to use the competition, and this is what we really believe. Sometimes it's not the players that will do what you are practicing. Sometimes you need to extract from or you need to take from the competitions as a team, and as special as individuals, we will say in a following video, how the players, they say to us, or they dictate to us, which drills we need to design to improve them. But as we know, we can tell, we can show, we can practice, and maybe the error will be there again. That's why always we need to insist and, to encourage them to try. So mistakes is not important. What is not allowed is not to try. Well, we can see. So, as I said, examples to try to fix situations like, and it happened again, right?
I would like to explain this one. Yes, because again, the situation that we saw before is not because we didn't work the line defensive. It's how after you are going to be available to do or not. Of course, it's our responsibility, because when people say to me, you are never going to teach until the people is in front of you learn. You say, no, but I teach you. No, you didn't teach me because I didn't learn. I was the director of the academy football. Where is Matt? Matt, yes, Sean, no? Sean one day said to me, you are never going to teach until the another learn. That he say, no, I teach you, I show you. Yes, well, on the end, it's your responsibility. It's our responsibility. But that is a thing that we try to be focused in everything, and that is why we spend, I think everyone here spent 12 hours on the academy or on the training ground, try to find a way to help, because on the end, we work for them. And we need to find the way. It is not one way, it's another. This type of situation that annoying me a lot. But of course, I'm not going to criticize the player, because I was the same when I was playing. But how many goals happen? You work a lot in a positional game. You work a lot in how you are going to press, developing different situations about football, about general concept. But and then you need to go to individual too, and you need people that really believe this type of situation. I was doing the stupid guy that in front of the goal, doing things that I wasn't brave like the people is now brave. But to work this type of situation that we were working 1 year ago or 2 years ago, and start only to do this type of thing, can put in a mental level to the player, offensive or defensive, or I don't know, in every single situation, that you can save, and your work, you are going to be the best or the worst because of this situation. And you can say, yeah, but we are talking about, I don't know, philosophy, or I like to play with wingers, with no wingers, with, I don't know, 3 central back, or only 2 striker or 3 striker. Yes, but this type of situation that happen in football, because football is like this, punish you or help you. We were working, and then was fresh the memory, stop the ball. Second action in the same game. Yes, again, brave, try to block, try to help the keeper. Keep going, rather to go inside or touch the net or go to the corner. What happened? Transition, and now Son score. Affect or no affect? That small detail. The small detail make the big things, and then make the big things. It's so important. It's so important. That is why football is collective, but care about the individuals is the most important. But we need to settle, again, that we talk. The responsibility is to settle on the academy, is to settle, is the mentality, how we are help the young player to grow. Different situation in the international analysis that with our players. Okay, all the data from our players. Different situation. You can go back a little bit before to finish. You know, to try, like I say Jesus before. Jesus, you want to, after I give the opportunity. Come on, you after I finish. I finish. But you need to say goodbye to the people.
No, as we said, so we try to see our guys are working really hard to provide us data. We need to use the data. So what happened? Every right back is different. Every winger is different. And this is a clear example how we designed a stupid drill for Dele. His best movement is from the left, deep, So sometimes the best training we can practice with him is when he likes, he wants, and we do it. So he dictates what he needs. It's very simple, but it's just how to use the competition to design every drill.
Yeah, so I think is the key. It's your belief to translate, and to create. I think to create with your group, with our group, but then that is the most important. It's everything, because today football is so important. The people that is with you working. I think I am the less that I work, It's easier my job. The most that work is Jesus and then another people. But it's so important. So important. Today, the demand of football increase a lot, and to arrive and to cope with all the areas that you need to cope, and the responsibility that demand football today, you need people, the best people, and the best professional. Best people, best human being, and of course, capacity too. And to finish, and hope that you enjoy a little bit with us, and back again, because this key, I am this key that achieved his dream. I was talking with Hernan. I feel the passion, and of course with Santi too, and to keep that idea. First, when I was 11 years ago, my first experience coaching football on a team. Never is how you dream, but of course your passion, your obsession, your power, your energy change and move the mountain, And the key is to keep going in the same way. Watching Bora, that is the energy that he translates. Of course, Walter, Ivan, all the people here, Shoka, too. Our responsibility is to translate. I am really, really, really bad today. I feel really bad. I cannot recover from the 7-2, that after for the 3-0, and you lose the keeper, your captain. Everything was bad. But you need to move on. You need to move on. The key is to move on. The key is to face the problems. It's easy to face when everything is good, when all the people praise you. But now it's difficult to receive, the message, come on, you can, and that is so painful, it's so difficult, but I think only we can be better, and that type of situation can make us stronger. Football is, it's not a drama. For me, it's not a drama, and I don't want to use and take advantage about this. For me, it's not a drama, because when I was there, was my life, was happiness. Of course, after cry because lose, but was a painful, a cry, a tears about happiness because I was doing what I wanted to do and accept that sometimes you can not always win. Of course, make you to be better, make you to cross the limit that if everything is easy, you're never going to discover. Go away and put yourself outside of the comfort life. It's like this? Comfort life. Comfort zone, I don't know. It's the most difficult thing. That is a lot of video like this, say the magic zone that you can discover it, I promise you. I was in Murphy, in a town very, 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 very small, that difficult to go and dream and was easy to be in your comfortable zone, but I wanted to push myself and try to discover different things. And I am here, and of course, very happy with my life, with football. In this tough moment, okay, I'm going to be stronger, I promise you. And I want to say thank you. Jesus, you want to say too?
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you very much. And keep going, because Walter, Ivan, and the Federation, you are doing a fantastic job. I enjoy a lot to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know that it was not easy to come here. They did it, and as he said, it's because he's a big man. He have the passion even to share in the bad moments, because in life we have bad moments. When from the bad moments we smile, when we enjoy the good moments. No? At the end, all of us work for that few moments. When we put a cup at the top, we'll feel the sensation to play a final of Champions League. That is why we have to keep going, working hard, thinking, have in mind also how lucky we are. How lucky we are. And because people, 1,000 million people cry to see us enjoy, or to see your team there. So it's amazing. I want just to tell one thing. One day in Barcelona, we had the chance to speak a lot about philosophy, about football, visiting, stay with them, both them for a while. And he told me something that I still keep going saying to my friends. I remember really well. He said, Walter, in Real Madrid, you did with the club something really, really important for the football in the concept in Spain. Really, I would like to do something in this direction. I asked to my club, but the problem, of course, was economical resource. And I remember that you said, I asked to my club, even to have, because the squad have 23 players, I asked to my club to reduce one player, to save that money, invest that money on the concept that you did. So from that moment, I realized that he's an ambitious person, and he wants to add, he wants to discover a new challenge. And I said, in a few years, this guy will be in a top team. And so thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming.